Hey guys, let's talk about another couple in this episode of 90 Day Fiance, Chantal and Pedro. So we start off with Chantal's family going to see the PI that they promised to sick on Pedro and his family, and Chantal actually tagged along, which was quite shocking to me. She claims that she only tagged along to make sure that things didn't go too far, but she sold him out practically from the second that she sat down. She was talking about him sending the money to the mom and the sister, what their living situation was like, all of that. And of course, the PI, who is looking for clients, dug into it and tried to create as much insecurity as possible to make sure that they signed on the dotted line in order to hire her for her investigative services. The PI says that Pedro sending money to his family is indeed sketchy, which anyone who's a first gen or second gen would know is absolutely not the case. It's super common to be sending money to your relatives back home, but whatever. And then she starts asking me about passwords. Does he have passwords on his computer? Does he have passwords on his phone? Those sorts of things. And I thought it was really weird. Chantal's family was oh my God, Pedro's got a password on his phone and his computer? What's going on? Does he love you, Chantal? That's so sketchy. I feel like people should be able to have what kind of passwords they want wherever they want. It's not that huge of a deal, especially when it comes to your cell phone. People are carrying their cell phones 24/7, to work, to the gym, to the club, to the movies. You don't want to lose your phone and leave everything wide out in the open for just anybody to go through. So I think passwords are paramount to device ownership. I mean, a home computer, they should they should both have the password for it. I agree, but when it comes to phones and stuff like that, I don't really think so. I think that the family is just trying to drive a wedge and the PI is just trying to get paid here. Things really start to take a deeper turn when the investigator, who by the way looks straight out of an 80s horror flick, is so Chantal, are you even sure that Pedro is Pedro? Is that his name? Is he really from the Dominican Republic? Is he really single? He doesn't have a wife? He doesn't have kids? These are the questions that I can answer for you. Let's tail his family over in the DR. Chantal says, no, I don't want to go through with that. She also says, no, there's no way he's cheating on me with a wife and kids because he plays video games too much. She didn't say because we're in love, I would never suspect it. She literally just says because he plays video games too much. And I was here girl, take this L, that's embarrassing. And then the investigator reminds her family, she's by the way, you guys, and Chantal, you should know this too, we could still move on without you. I thought that was absolutely hilarious, how bold she was, not giving a single FUCK that Chantal was still in the room and was vehemently against investigating her husband. She's we could still go on without you, boo-boo. Damn, girl, you're trying to get paid one way or the other by any means necessary. The next day, Chantal heads back home and admits to Pedro that she and her family went to a private investigator who told them that him sending that much money to his family was indeed shady and potentially indicative of him having another wife and family. She then claims to have called off the whole thing, and Pedro says that he wants to move away from her family, even if it means going to another state because he's sick and tired of their absolute craziness. And he actually accuses them of being straight up racist, and I commend him for that. I think he does have at least a little bit of a case. They have been more than microaggressive to him, on many occasions. So I do believe that xenophobia might have a little bit of something to do with what's going on here. Things take a really deep nosedive for this couple when in their final scene of the episode, they go and pick up Pedro's sister at the airport. She seemed really happy. They seemed really happy. They were really warm and hospitable to her. They brought her a balloon, they brought her flowers. Everything seemed to be going great until they brought her back home and showed her this brand new huge couch they got for her. She said it was comfy. Chantal's yeah, well, I'm glad it's comfy because you're going to be sleeping here. And then Pedro's sister kind of had a little bit of a fit about it, which was quite rude. You're a guest, they already paid for your ticket, you should be grateful to have somewhere to crash. And it was a pretty big couch, and she's quite the tiny girl, so I don't understand why she was flipping out over it. And Pedro is just such a yes man when it comes to his wife. Sister. He was Chantal, I told you to get an air mattress for her instead. Let's get an air mattress for her. And Chantal's really, we just got this expensive ass couch for her, and she just comes in here and tells me she's not going to sleep on it. That is quite freaking rude. And Pedro insists on getting the air mattress for his sister, and Chantal just walks away from the situation. I can feel Chantel's frustrations. Like, your husband just spent all this money flying his sister out when he never spent a single dime on your flights when you were flying out to see him. They bought this $1,000 couch for her as well, and she just absolutely turns her nose up at it, like, pretty much immediately. And then he just takes her side. He never even like asks her to compromise or anything like that. Like, he's just being a total yes man. And on top of that, Pedro did his hair specifically for his sister. Like, he got himself a little press and curl, but he never does his hair for Chantel. Like, all of that would drive me absolutely wild as well. And so for some reason, the sister as well, like, gets out of the house and like causes a scene also. It's like, really, girl? Like, stop it. You guys, do you really think that Pedro treats Chantel like less than whenever his sister's around? I personally believe that he does favor his sister. And also, do you think that Chantel's family is gonna go ahead with the private investigator behind her back? Leave all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and as usual, we'll chat. You can also like this video, subscribe for more. Feel free to share it with your friends as well, and follow me across social media where I absolutely love chatting with you. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.